Hey guys, this is Scaling from Fast Fire News here with my Dry Now Season 6 Episode 17 review, Outbreak. So, I heard this is kind of a two-parter, and for that reason it's going to be a little difficult to review this one as I usually do, because it's kind of hard to judge off of what we get in the first part before we fully know what's going to take place in the second part, since literally the second part is going to continue literally exactly from where we left off. So this wasn't like a two-parter thing where it's two similar episodes that are basically linked together. It was literally a two-parter. Where it's going to continue off of the last episode directly in the second part. So anyways, let me start off with saying that I think right now has been in a really good position lately. The show really has picked up the pace a lot, and I think it's as good as ever right now. They really seem to be knowing what they're doing with this season. I think that maybe this season had some pacing issues, but overall, so far, apart from the bad pacing in some areas, it really seems like the season is going really well, and that continued with this week's episode so far. Alright, so first off, we got more moments between the team kind of discussing with Dino about how the things have been and all that, trying to help him, basically Washington trying to give Dino hope again. And we got some good character moments in that. As I said before, I liked kind of seeing the bond between Dino and Washington. I will say one thing. I'm noticing a pattern with Dino. Most of the episodes have been starting off with something from the main plot or something similar, basically being the very start of the episode, and then the intro happens, and then they switch to Dino, usually looking kind of unhappy, and Washington kind of trying to cheer him up. And I usually like these moments between the characters because I think that it gives them a good time for bonding, and it is good to see character moments like this. But I will say, I think they kind of need to break that pattern a little bit, because we're kind of starting to see that every episode. I mean, I'm starting to get used to seeing Dino feeling like he's losing hope, and Washington trying to basically give Dino his hope back. And this is kind of becoming a thing we're seeing, like, every episode. And, like, at the beginning of every episode. So I kind of hope they start to break that a little bit, because even though it's a good character moment, it's been good character moments, and it's helped kind of get into the characters and strengthen their bond and everything. I think that if they do keep doing it too many times, it's kind of just gonna be okay. Well, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, we've kind of already been through this quite a few times. So I kind of hope that they maybe can just, as I said, break that a little bit. I mean, not that I don't want them to discuss it anymore and Washington to try to help Dino, but to do it every episode at the very beginning is getting just a little, I want to say maybe repetitive, because it's happening a lot. And I'm kind of expecting it now every episode, to the point where it's not having the same impact it was before. It worked for this episode enough, though, because I felt that, I mean, Dino really had to make a really hard decision, and it really bothered him and really got to him, so I felt it did work for this one, and that's why I'm not really counting it as a negative this time around, because I do think we needed to see Dino in a negative state of mind after that incident. So yeah, it didn't really affect this one so much. I just hope that we don't keep seeing it, because if it continues, it's going to get repetitive. It's already bordering on that line. So yeah, I'm gonna say that I don't think Washington joked a little bit during that conversation at first, and I gotta say I think that was a little out of place. There was kind of a serious moment for Dino. I mean, he just had to destroy a building and almost hurt everybody inside. I don't really think that was even kind of Washington acknowledged with another joke, basically, that he didn't know if it was a time for it, and I gotta say, it really kind of wasn't to me. So I wasn't really thinking that was the time for humor. During that part of the discussion, But anyways, yeah, there was a good talk between the characters. Apart from that, and I do think that I was glad that we acknowledged what happened last week. Now, moving on, Spinus is part of the episode this week. We got basically to see Spinus talk to Bracer about the fact about basically the whole thing, and Bracer telling him what was going to happen and how he could help him and all that. And it was interesting seeing these characters meet for the first time. Now, I made my thoughts clear on this whole Spinus thing last time around, and I if anyone remembers my review, I said I wasn't really sure crazy about that direction they're taking with him. Now, did this episode change my mind? I don't think so. I still don't know where they're going with this. We got, when Bracer asked him if he wanted to join basically for the final time, we got Spinus kind of flashing back to moments with his father, talking about him, if he thought it was what he should do it, and all that kind of thing. And then he says yes, and I don't really know how those connect with each other. Because it was like he was feeling bad about what he had done, but at the same time was then going to make it worse. So I'm not sure how those connect entirely. I was wondering if Spinus is going to use this somehow to do good. And that's maybe why he was having those flashbacks. I don't mean that let me make this clear, I don't mean this as a bad thing. I'm not saying that I think it's bad that those flashbacks happened and they don't have any connection with, and they didn't make any sense. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say basically that I'm not sure what that means yet, so I'm still waiting. Because I know it means something, obviously. So, anyways, I don't know where they're going with that. As I said, I thought maybe he was going to help do good somehow after that, but it's like, then we see him helping Bracer, I think, and the rest of the prison inmates who basically been involved in the MCT, he was helping them out, and in the promo, it looks like he's going after Dino again, so I'm just not sure where they're going with that. I'm really kind of confused right now about where they're heading with Spinus. And I'm just going to make this clear, if I said Spiner at all in this review, then I'm sorry, I keep doing that, and you're just going to have to forgive me for some reason. I'm sorry, Spiner, and everyone who keeps hearing me say that. So, anyways, yes, Spinus. I don't know where they're going with him, as I said. I don't know if it's a good direction yet, because I don't know if I really like the whole, him being involved with the MCT so he can go take down Dino now. I mean, that's what Bracer's telling me he can do, basically. And I just don't know. I mean, I'm watching and waiting to see what happens. Because I just don't know if I like this direction or not yet. I mean, they're either going to pull off something that really works and I'm going to totally change my mind, or they're going to surprise me with something I didn't expect, or it's going to go exactly as I'm predicting, and in which case I don't think I'm going to be all that thrilled with it, because I'm not sure I like this direction. If they were going to leave, if Spinus was going to stay basically going after Dino, I would rather they ended with the last fight and Spinus just stayed in prison, because I felt that was a really good ending to his character narrative, and it seemed kind of like it would undo the emotion a little bit just to have him break out of prison join the MCT and power up and then go to take down Dino. I don't know. So we're just gonna find out, because this episode didn't make me change my mind that I still don't care for that direction, but it did make me. I mean, but right now, as again, just like last week, I still don't have a clue where that's going. The promo makes it look like he's going after Dino, but I don't know. So we're just gonna have to find out. I don't really have any opinion on that yet, because I don't know what they're doing with it. Now, moving on, we got basically most of what this episode was about was the MCT tests, which finally happened this week. They finally basically injected him with all these chemicals, and or I don't know if they used any chemicals. I mean, basically the whole myth energy. I forget what they call it. I think they do call it energy. I don't remember if they call it myth energy or something like that. Whatever the myth world was called, I forget. But, yeah. So we finally got that this week. They've been building this up for like forever. I'm kind of glad that they're finally doing it. I was really glad that they're finally doing it, because really, if they wait for the finale, for this, it's pretty bad that we would have got a whole season of them talking about this and only doing the finale. So I'm glad that they finally started. I will say, I think they should have started earlier. I think that we should have gotten more with this than we have. We got a long time ago Incendiary basically battling Dynus, and that was whole part of the DXH thing. And we're only now getting them doing this. Finally unleashing doing their plan and unleashing all of these creatures prison inmates that they turned into creatures with the energy and all that. And I feel like this is just a bit late. I feel like we should have gotten something with this before, and this should have been like the final attack. Because it's 17 episodes in, when they've been doing this all season. If they just started introducing this like a couple episodes back, that would have been one thing, but they've been doing this all season long, and this seems just a bit late in. So this kind of coincides with the pacing issues Grindhouse kind of had this season. Now, anyways, I am glad that they finally did this week. And I will say that it's so far living up to expectations, because there was a lot of great action scenes this week. I'd say that the action was mainly what made this episode. This was an episode that was mostly based on its action. There wasn't a whole lot else besides that, but we got a lot of good action this week. I'm going ahead and go talk about the fact that we got Kolvik returning this week. That was pretty awesome. I didn't know we were going to get Kolvik in this episode at first. I knew last week that we were going to get him because he was in the promo in the description, but I didn't know he was coming back yet, so that was really cool that we got him. Not only did we get Kolvik, though, we got Kolvik showing up to basically request Dynus' help. And that was so awesome, man. I did not see a team up between Moon Knight and Dynus' team coming. I did not see that at all, ever. Nobody, if somebody asked me this season, hey, is Dynus going to team up with Moon Knight? I would say, why? Why would Dynus team up with Moon Knight? So, the fact that we got that was like, I totally didn't see it coming and did not expect it. Like, I literally didn't know that was going to happen until, even when he showed up, I didn't know that was going to happen. So, part of me was saying like he was just going to threaten Dynus and tell Dynus basically to get Spinus or something. So the fact that we got a team up between Moon Knight and Dynus' team was like so awesome. Literally, I was like literally cheering. I don't do that very often, and that was like so epic that we got that. And that led to a whole lot of really awesome fight scenes. When Moon Knight showed up and I basically started taking him out, the MCT prison inmates, and Dynus started fighting him, and we got some really cool team-up moves between Dynus and Moon Knight. Yeah, the choreography was great this week, fantastic, and we got a lot of good action, like so awesome, epic action. I know I may be being a little hyped on this, but seriously, this was like Moon Knight and Dynus team up. Look at all of the seasons we've had. How long Science Teacher has been in the show, and have they ever teamed up? I don't think so. So, the fact that we got that this week, 6 seasons, and we got a Team Moon Knight and Dragon now team up, especially with Dynus' team also involved, we got Blue Sky and Cordial out there basically kicking butt, and Examus also, and then we got the DX showing up, which I can't say they showed up a little late. I was kind of that did seem a little strange to me that it took them a while to show up. After that, basically they had already caused a lot of destruction and everything. That was kind of weird, but not a big deal. And then the DXA showing up, basically, we got just a whole lot of really cool action this week. So, yeah, the climax was I think, the best part of the episode. That's mostly what made this episode this week, was the really awesome action and climax we got. And there was something I was going to talk about a moment ago, but I forgot what it is. But anyways, yeah, so we got a lot of really cool action this week. I keep saying that. But we did. It's true. And we got the MCT basically going too. So I'm gonna say I'm really glad that they chose to make this a two-parter, because man, if they had crammed this into one episode, it would have not worked at all. I mean, by the end of the episode, they had started not that long ago, and it was like, oh, if they're gonna end this already after we've waited dozens of episodes for this, and it ends this fast, I mean, man, it's gonna fall flat. So I'm so glad that Carson made the smart choice and made this a two-parter. I think that's really gonna help out, especially with the fact that they waited so long for it. I think that it's really going to help the fact that they waited a long time to do it, and with making it basically a two-parter and the main focus of the two-parter. That is pretty cool, and I think they made a good choice with that. So we'll see basically how this continues in the next part and find out what happens, like with Spinus and all that, and with the rest of the battle. Oh, and that reminds me, now I remember what I was going to talk about. Kolvik. Kolvik is basically teamed up with Dino to find Spinus. I feel kind of like, rhyming, but we got basically Kolvik decided to team up with Dragonout to locate Spinus. Now, before, Kolvik made it sound like he didn't really care about Spinus, but there's something there, because if he was going to deal with Dragonout, like his main worst enemy, to locate Spinus when he had nothing to do with Spinus anymore, really. I mean, Spinus decided to make his own choice, and the science teacher really had no reason to go after him anymore. Or basically be involved with him. I think that there's something there, and that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering, I think that that Kolvik really does have some kind of connection to Spinus, and that's kind of interesting. I hope that they kind of delve into that a little more, because I want to see where that goes. There's something there. I mean, we never had the science teacher act like he cares about anybody, so the fact that Kolvik may wind up like having a personal connection to Spinus, that's interesting, and I kind of want to see how that goes. I hope that becomes more of something they're going to focus on rather than just ignore. So, anyways, yeah. There's a lot of things there's a lot of potential in the next episode. I'm hoping that they pull it off, because this was a good starter. We didn't get a whole lot besides action. Apart from action, that was mainly what this one was. Not saying that basically the episode was just action from the very beginning. I mean that basically what the highlights of this episode was mainly the action. The team up with Moon Eye and Dino, and the big fight we got and all that. So that was the main highlight. I hope that they managed to pull off a good second parter for it. I think my only one thing I didn't care for, as I said, was Ryerson kind of maybe joking at the incorrect time. And I kind of hope that they break the pattern a little bit with making Dinos kind of be acting in the first part of the episode and making Ryerson kind of try to cheer him up every episode. And, well, I think that's about it. As I said, we're just going to have to see where Spinus goes to, so I'm not going to list that as a negative yet. So yeah, all in all, solid episode. Not like anything super fantastic in terms of story-wise. We got super fantastic action. Now as for our rating, FFN's rating of this episode, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a solid 8.0. I think that the action mostly made this episode, so I think this was a great action-packed episode. I can't give it higher than that because we didn't get a lot of much else, so I mostly am having to base this on the climax and the big fight we got and all that. So yes, I'm going to go with exactly 8 for great. Now, as I said, this was a solid first parter. I'm waiting for the second one to see how they pull this off. It looks like there's a lot of potential in the second one. We could see basically how Kolvik's connection to Spinus goes, how that's going to play out. We could see that we got probably more of a Moon Eye and Dinos team up that we get to see. There's still the very interesting, in an either good or bad way, direction of what they're doing with Spinus, and we're gonna get some more cool fights. It looks like Bracer and Age are gonna duke it out next week. So yeah, all in all, so far it looks pretty good. I'm hoping that they manage to pull it off. So this was a solid episode. Anyways, guys. This was a good episode. Episode 17, I think, was a pretty good one. We're just going to have to wait and find out what they're going to do with the second one and see how that is going to affect this one. So, anyways, yeah, guys, great episode of Dragon Now Season 6. So far, the show's looking up. The season's going well so far. Some pacing issues, but they're working that out, and they're managing to pull off some really great stuff with this season. So, yeah, guys, final 3 episodes, 18, 19, and 20. So, I'm excited for seeing the last, what we're going to get in the last 3. So anyways, guys, yes, that's our review at FFN of Dragon Now Season 6, Episode 17, Outbreak. I will see you guys next week with, well, actually, I'll probably see you, and you'll probably watch the next review if you follow my normal reviews period. You'll see me again tomorrow during my Dragon's Domain review. But anyways, yeah, I'll see you next week with another Dragon Now episode. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Scanlan from Fast Fire News, and that's all. Thanks for watching.